Some of my family say to me, how can you just sit there in a chair and read for so long? It's about finding the stories that grab you and getting lost in them. I've been working in libraries for over 20 years now, but it wasn't my first job. My first career was actually in banking, and then I took some time off from being an assistant branch manager of a bank to have my kids. And when I came back, I started thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to do something different. And I started working in a school library, and that sort of rekindled love for libraries and everything they do for the community, and of course, love for books that we all have. Oh, that's easy. The lovely people that I meet when I drive around the community. We have over 30 stops that we go to on Bookmobile-South over every 2 weeks. And just so many people that come out and are so happy to see us, and you really start to get to know them and have a relationship with them. Sometimes they have a question about technology. Other times they just want to tell you about something that's happening in their community. And it's just a great feeling to be out there and helping people. I try to read a little bit of everything because you never know what kind of reader you're going to meet, and to be a good librarian you have to be able to talk a little bit about everything. But it's certainly okay, I think, to have your favorites and genres that you can really speak in depth about. So in that sense, I'm more of a fiction reader, but I do enjoy a good nonfiction story every once in a while. There really wasn't as much literature for children when I was young. And so there was a lot of popular series like Nancy Drew and the Bobbsey Twins and biography series and things like that. So I was reading all of those and really anything that I could get my hands on, but I never stopped being a reader, right from when I could first read all the way through college and into my life. In fact, sometimes some of my family say to me, how can you just sit there in a chair and read for so long? It's about finding the stories that grab you and getting lost in them. Well, 2 books that I just finished. One is for middle grade readers, which is grades maybe 4 through 8. This is an action adventure, Deep Water by Watt Key, and the subtitle, it says on the cover, Sink or Survive. So it's about a really strong character, a 12-year-old girl who helps her father with his deep sea diving business. And she gets stranded in the middle of a dive out in the middle of the ocean. She is the one with the skill and the knowledge that has to help everyone get to safety. And then for adults, this author, Catherine Center, What You Wish For. This book just came out last month. She's a great author who develops really wonderful characters and tells a great story. I'm reading books now, I find, about finding joy in your life and how to turn the negative into the positive, which I think is something we all need right now with what's going on in the world. So this one's 2 characters, male and female, that work together in a school that have both had some real tragedy in their lives, and how they manage to turn that to the positive and find the joy in the little things and the big things. I think a little more funny is when you deal with kids, the kind of things they ask. There's been so many over the years. I'll be typing on the computer and they'll say, you're not really typing, right? You're going so fast, you must just be hitting the keys. Being a public librarian, every day brings something new. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's a little bit, but you always learn something new every day, and that's what's great about being here and seeing the public and being here for them. They know they can come in and get guidance on 1,000 different topics. When I think of book worlds, I think of fantasy, and that's a genre that I don't really read a lot. Kind of getting back to this book that I just talked about, I love the books that are being written that are creating worlds where girls are able to do anything. So I guess if I could put myself back 40 years, I'd want to be in those worlds where these girls are reading about things that they can do and nobody can stop them. They're just going for it. I love that. Well, in terms of books that I feel a kinship with, I would have to say there's 2 written this year. One is The Giver of Stars, and the other is The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek. They're both fiction, but with a very similar storyline. They're set in Kentucky, in the Appalachian Mountains, during the Depression, 1930s, when, based on a true story of the government paying women to be librarians, to use pack horses to take books up into the mountains. I find a lot of similarities there to the Bookmobile and what we do. Of course, they have worked much harder at physically getting the books there than we do with our awesome Bookmobiles. Thank you, friends of the library. But beyond that, I feel a lot of things haven't changed, and it's been, what, 80 years? And librarians are still doing basically the same thing, which is giving people the information they need to help them improve themselves, whether it's be for pleasure or education. So I just find those books really neat. There's just so many good ones. I would recommend that once the Bookmobiles are starting up on the road again, I call it the bestseller bus. That's my unofficial title for the Bookmobile, because everything on there is brand new. It's just been published in the last 1 to 12 months. We have all the hot titles that everybody wants, and I can make you 100 recommendations from what I have in stock there. So come on and see me. My name's Judy Sparzo. I'm the Bookmobile-South librarian.